All right, well, we're back. Kufar, Akbar, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Crossing the Crescent discussion group. This is a live stream show dedicated to rightly dividing the truth between Christianity and Islam. I am your host, Eric Sekafer, and I come to you live from the cavern steps of the Cap Cave here in Dar al-Harb, Kafiristan. And we're here every Wednesday, or at least we're trying to be. Last Wednesday, we were not here. And, Rad, of course, he's bothering me about it. We're doing the show this week, and it just did not occur to me the previous Wednesday that the next Wednesday was going to be Thanksgiving. And we had planned for months, the Queen and I, to go to Iowa, Kafiristan North, to visit her parents. And we did. But then we had to skedaddle out of there early because they got a bucket load of snow. It was supposed to snow Friday night, and so we left Friday morning. We're gonna stick around because I know how that works. You stick around when you get a lot of snow. People ask you, "Hey, you want to help shovel it?" This guy doesn't want to help shovel snow. Done shoveling snow. That's why I live in Kafiristan South. All right. Well,
you didn't even swing by my place to help me shovel all this snow.
I know. Well, you have a snow blower, if I'm not.
Well. Yeah, but I forgot to bring it upstairs from the basement because I thought that the Townhome Association was going to do their due diligence and do their job and do the sideways in the parking lot. No, they didn't. What they did was they piled up all the snow in the parking lot and blocked me in. And they didn't do the sidewalks. And by the time I figured it out the next morning, the snow had already frozen. It was like ice hard, so you can't use a snowblower on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know everything. I know I grew up in the stuff. So, when you start talking about getting snow, just the plow would come down the street every day. And what would they do? They plow your driveway shut. And so what does the old Kafir dad say? Eric, get out there and shovel that open. So I'd be out there shoveling. I don't miss it. I want to welcome our friend Christo in the chat. Welcome, sir. Thank you for doing that. Okay, so today's show, we're going to be talking about proof why Muhammad was not a prophet. Now, I know the majority of the people that come here already believe Muhammad wasn't a prophet, but we all want to spend some time reviewing the data, because looking at the data is, always affirms what we already know. But some people that are not familiar with this don't really know, why people don't consider Muhammad a prophet. We can sit there and look at all the things that he did in his life, and you would say, well, what type of prophet, marries the divorced wife of his adopted son? Who does that really? I mean, come on. Or what kind of man that's 53 years old has any type of attraction to a 9-year-old little girl? Really? And we can accept all that as saying, look, that guy is not from God. That guy is not a prophet at all.
But hold on, Eric. David Wood, as an unrepentant sinner, an atheist, and a thug and criminal who violently attacked his own father. When he was 18, he had sex with a 13 and 15-year-old. And the Muslims are calling him a rapist. Right?
Hold on, I gotta take a call. Hold on. You go ahead.
Okay. Well, as I was saying to the studio audience, according to Muslim logic, David Wood, who was an unrepentant sinner, an atheist, a non-believing atheist, a thug who violently and viciously attacked his own father with a hammer, was a rapist, or child rapist, statutory rapist, pedophile, whatever, because he had sex with a 13, 15-year-old girl. Yes, I agree. Yes, that was a horrible thing as an unrepentant sinner, and that is thoroughly condemned, and all Christians would do that. The problem is, with the Muslims, is they're calling him all these horrible things, even though he repented of it. The thing is, if David Wood said, I was the best example of mankind and a prophet from Allah, they'd be worshiping him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay? Seriously. Anyway, but that's
they're calling David Wood all these nasty names like a pedophile, a sodomite, or child molest, whatever. All the while they're saying these things. I mean, if you're gonna say David Wood because he was 18 years old, and you're just a kid at that age. I mean, let's face it, you're just still a kid. But let's just pretend, okay, he's considered an adult legally. So he jumps on a 13-year-old girl, and he jumps on a 15-year-old girl that he said?
Right. Remember, he wasn't a Christian. He was an atheist. He was a violent thug, criminal. He had no spiritual background to judge him or guide him along this way. So yes, okay, whatever. Thoroughly condemned. Okay, no problem doing that. Okay,
right. That's what they're doing. They're condemning him for these actions. Okay, so let's just say, okay, yeah, I would condemn him for doing it too. You know, nobody here is trying to justify, and I'm almost positive nobody in our chat is going to try to justify it either. But the key part is, and I think you mentioned this, we don't follow David Wood's sunnah. I mean, we do not. Am I correct on? We wouldn't want to follow that type of example at all.
No. And well, here's another thing too. The Muslims should be praising this. They should be considering this Islamic miracle. Think about this. David Wood, even though he was an atheist, never heard of Muhammad, lived in, I think it was West Virginia, okay, in the hills of West Virginia, never heard of Muhammad, was a total atheist, was following the great sunnah of the great prophet Muhammad. Think about that. Think about how powerful that sunnah is, okay? For an 18-year-old to follow in the footsteps of Muhammad, was a 54-year-old man, and had sex with a 9-year-old. Oh, maybe no. He didn't follow in the sunnah of the prophet because he didn't have sex with a 9-year-old girl. That's it. Yeah.
Girl, right?
Yeah. I mean, how old was she?
You're nothing, boy.
No, that's it.
That wasn't exactly a clever move. No.
Oh, see, this thing.
Say it.
She was 9 years old.
You know, I want to be that guy. I really want to be that guy. And I've been thinking, Brad, you and I are going to have to talk offline. Maybe we get John involved in this too. I mean, this little. I'll talk to you guys after the show about it. But I mean, there's some things that I would really like to do. Not go out and get arrested. But I've been thinking of other things that we can do, and I'll talk to you guys more about it later. But anyway, all right. So let's get back to the topic of the show. I see Danny Davis in the house. Our brother Danny, good to see you, dude. Danny is the guy that's got like 18 kids, and they're all in college right now, and he's got to pay. Someone's got to pay that tuition. Somebody's got to pay that test, and so he's always on the work. One of the things that I miss is Clubhouse. Were you guys? I know, Dr. Kufar, you were on Clubhouse quite a bit.
Yeah, I was.
Whatever happened with that?
I know. It crashed. They made some type of modification to it, and it just, I don't know.
It's picking up.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we can get back on there because I always thought that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
To get on there, but anyway, another conversation. Let's get to the topic. Come on, Capper, let's go. All right. So reasons why Muhammad was not a prophet. Let's just go ahead, and I got this list off of The Religion of Peace. If you don't have that place bookmarked on your bookmarks, I guess, I don't know how else, on your tabs or whatever, I would highly suggest doing that. It's a clearinghouse of information along with Wiki Islam, clearinghouses of information on Islam and their false prophet Muhammad. And this one on The Religion of Peace has a tab that says 50 reasons Muhammad was not a prophet. And I think this is from David Wood. This is some of David Wood's work, if I'm not mistaken. It says posted by David Wood. So we have 50 reasons here, and I'm not going to bore everybody with all 50 reasons. I'm just going to kind of highlight some of the main ones that are pretty obvious. And the first one out of the gate is it talks about Muhammad's first encounter with Jibril, with Gabriel. Now we all know what happened, where he's supposed. Now this is all supposed information, because Mecca, there's no proof that Mecca existed in the 7th century. So when we start talking about being in the the Hira cave, where Muhammad's up there contemplating and meditating on the the meaning of life or whatever, or thinking about his false gods, he gets squeezed by Gabriel. Now Gabriel starts giving him these revelations. Number one, it doesn't tell us it was an angel that did this. Am I correct on this, guys? It does not. It says, read in the name of the Lord who created man of blood coagulated. Read, the Lord is the most beneficent. He taught by the pen, taught by that which they knew not unto men. So I read it, and he departed. And it doesn't say anything that this was an angel. It just says that this was a being that so he came to me, said the apostle of God, while I was asleep. Anyway, what angel, do we have any angels in the Bible? If this is supposed to be from the Christian traditions, do we have any angel laying their hands on human beings, getting them to do something at all?
Not in my Bible.
Well, I'm trying to think of all the times that angels are encountered. I'll tell you what.
The Muslims will pull up the Jacob wrestling with the angel of the Lord.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And the angel was overcome. But if you notice, even that story, actually, all stories of the angel Lord, encounters with the angel Lord, yes, there was fear and trepidation, because clearly you see the angel Lord, you're going to be on your knees, fearful and trembling. But the angel Lord always responded, do not fear me. You know what I mean?
The first thing they say is, do not be afraid.
Do not be afraid.
If a supernatural being appears before you,
you're going to lose it.
What do you say to something like that?
Yeah, you're going to lose it anyway. But yeah, so we'll have to look up Jacob wrestling with the angel, because I think that's how it started. Well, the angel Lord said you cannot go any further, right, or something like that. I'll look it up more while you guys talk amongst yourself.
Well, it's in Genesis chapter 32. It says Jacob wrestles all night with a mysterious man, widely interpreted as an angel or a theophany of God. The angel dislocates Jacob's hips to end the struggle, leaving him with a permanent limp as a reminder of the encounter. But during the siege, you have the angel of death in Exodus, killing all the firstborn in Israel, or not Israel, that other joint, Egypt. You have another angel being sent down to Sennacherib, and this is in 2 Kings, killing 185,000 soldiers. Angel of the Lord immediately strikes down King Herod Agrippa with a fatal illness. So there you have angels harming the enemies of God, but wrestling with Jacob. But we don't, if an angel is going to, but the angel blessed Jacob. Jacob demands to be blessed, so the angel blesses him. So this idea that an angel is going to squeeze you in order to get you to do something that you can't, because if Muhammad is not able to, if he's illiterate and he can't read, why are you telling him to read if you can't read? And what are you reading? What did he give him to read? I don't read in the name of the Lord. Read. What is he reading? Sleep. He pressed me so tightly that I thought I was deaf, and then he let me go and said, read. And what shall I read? He pressed me again. Read, I said. What shall I read? He pressed me the third time. And read, what shall I read? And he said, only deliver myself to the less. It doesn't say to what is it? Did the angel have a book with him? It doesn't say. It does not say. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's see here.
Wait. I think we got to examine Jacob wrestling with the angel because this is interesting. I just had to relook it up. Okay, so basically this happens. Okay, 32. Esau to meet Jacob. So there's basically a long story of Jacob going out with his brother Esau. Esau's coming back, and Esau, I guess, is really angry with him for some reason. He's got like 100 men with him, and Esau is really, really pissed. Okay, and Jacob's like, yeah, I better leave this place. Okay. Then Jacob said, oh God of my father Abraham, God of my father Isaac, the Lord who said to me, return to your country and to your family, I will deal well with you. I'm not worthy at least of these mercies and truth which you have shown your servant, for I crossed over the Jordan with my staff, but now I've become two companies. Deliver me, I pray, from you, hand of my brother. But deliver me, I pray, from the hand of my brother. Yeah, why was Esau so pissed at him? Oh, didn't Jacob steal his blood right or something?
Yeah, Jacob stole his birthright from him.
Yeah.
Jacob leaves, and they have this growing apart, and then they meet again, and he thinks Esau's going to kill him.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay. He's pissed. Anyway,
again, yeah.
So he takes his two wives and his servants, and they flee. Okay. But anyway, so Jacob then he rose. This is 22. And he rose at night and took his two wives, his two female servants, and his 11 sons, and crossed over the ford of Jabbok. He took them, sent them over the brook, and sent over that he had. Then Jacob was left alone, and a man wrestled with him until the breaking of the day. Now when he saw that he did not prevail against him, he touched the socket of his hip, and the socket of Jacob's hip was out of joint as he wrestled with him. And he said, let me go, for the day breaks. But he said, this is Jacob, but he said, I will not let you go unless you bless me. So I said to him, what is your name? He said, Jacob. And he said, your name shall no longer be called Jacob, but Israel. For you have struggled with God and with men and have prevailed. Then Jacob asked, saying, tell me what I pray. And he said, why is it that you ask me about my name? And he blessed him there. What translation do I have? This is a horrible translation. Oh, this is King James. No wonder why. Okay. But anyway, so the gist of the story is basically there was no the angel of the Lord was trying to was not struggling with him, saying read, choking him out, okay, scaring him, but instead Jacob was wrestling with him to get a blessing. Right. And he overcomes the angel. The angel's like, fine, I'm going to knock your socket out of joint. That'll fix you. But Jacob still would not relent until he got a blessing, because his brother was really pissed and was going to kill him.
Yeah.
Because
that's what he thought anyway, but that wasn't entirely true. But I mean, that's because he had seen him for so long, he thought that this was
right. And they left on such good terms. Yeah. No. Anyway.
Okay, let's take a look at another one here. Islam, the Kaaba, the Black Stone, and idolatry. Muslims often accuse other religions of idolatry, yet Muslims bow down to a pagan temple called the Kaaba, which is what the pagans of Arabia did before the rise of Islam. They take a pilgrimage to the Kaaba, which is what the pagans of Arabia did before Islam. They walk circles around the Kaaba, which is what the pagans of Arabia did before Islam. And they kiss the black stone embedded in the corner of the Kaaba, which is what the pagans of Arabia did before the rise of Islam. So here you have several pagan practices that are embedded into and enshrined into the law. Whoops, let me go this way. Sorry. Let me move my piggy out of the way. Into Islamic law that's codified in the Sharia, where they, number one, they go on a pilgrimage to Mecca, And I will say, let me just say this: that we understand that the Jews, they will several times a year for the feast, they used to go to Jerusalem. What have I got in here? They would go to Jerusalem. So that's really not paganistic, I guess, if you want to classify that. But what makes this one pagan is that there's this Kaaba out in the middle of the desert. Why would God? Okay, number one, Abraham and Ishmael, according to the Quran, supposedly rebuilt the Kaaba, not built it, but rebuilt it, because Adam, I guess, was supposed to be the one that actually built it. But that would place the Kaaba and Mecca at 2000 BC. So the question becomes, what evidence do we have for Mecca even existing at 2000 BC? Yeah, I thank you, Brad. And this is what these jokers do. When they get there, they're trying to put that back up there. Show that again. I'll show it. Here we go. This is what they're doing. They're fighting amongst each other, trying to kiss this black stone that's embedded in there. Now, why are they trying to kiss the black stone? Anybody? Why do you want to kiss it? Why do you want to?
Because it takes away their sins. And the only reason why it's black is because it used to be white, and then menstruating women rubbed up against it and turned it black. So they go and they kiss this thing. And by the way, I've seen up close pictures of the black stone over the years, and it looks like they're chipping away at this black stone. The black stone is now a nub. it's not really there anymore.
It's in several different pieces, yeah, because it's been stolen a couple times, if I'm not mistaken, and then the people that stole it busted it.
Right. No, but what I'm saying is even now, because no, I can show you pictures of about 20 years ago. It stuck out a little bit. Okay. Now it's a nub. No, it's not even a nub. It's in, you know what I mean? It's totally chipped away. There's not much of that black stone left because these idiots, they chip it away and they take a little bit of the black stone home with them. But they don't tell anybody. They just do it. Or maybe just the rubbing up and on it, the kissing it is just, you know what I mean? Just could wear it down. All that saliva, like moisture, like water, a river kind of, over, years will tear down a whole mountain, kissing and slobbering all over a stone by millions of people every year probably wears it down. Anyway, just saying.
Well, I do know that if you go to St. Peter's Basilica in Rome, it's where the Vatican is, but it's that big church. There is a statue of Peter in there, and I'm not sure what type of stone it might be onyx. It's black. Is onyx a black? Is that black?
Onyx is black, yes. It's black volcanic rock.
That it very well may be made out of onyx, but it's an absolutely beautiful statue. And Peter's sitting in a chair or on a throne or something. And what people will do is they come into the church. They will kiss their hand and then they will rub his foot. Well, so many thousands, if not millions of people have come through there and rubbed his foot as they've gone by. You can see where that rubbing, touching it and running your hand across it has caused it to erode. It's
He's got a nub now? He's got a stub?
But it's not a nub, but I mean, you can clearly see the erosion on the foot itself. So I could about imagine, in the Kaaba, people up there smooching it, licking it, or trying to do it without. I can see where you would have, some type of erosion of the black stone itself also. But if you think about this, how can you not consider kissing a rock being pagan? I mean, is there anything in the Bible where we bow down to any type of man-made object and believe that by touching it or interacting with it results in some type of forgiveness of sins or some type of purification.
Well, that's an interesting observation. Think about this. We have Jesus, who is the Rock of Ages. The Rock of Ages forgives all sins, right? What do Muslims have? They have the Rock of the Kaaba, an actual rock that they kiss and supposedly takes away their sins. Think about that. They've replaced the Rock of Ages with an actual stone.
Yeah, they believe that by kissing that stone, it brings forgiveness. It brings forgiveness of sins, and this is what I'm trying to say. Where in Christianity or in Judaism do we find the veneration or the touching or interacting with any type of object results in purification or remission of sins? Now, I know in ancient Judaism, they had the mitzvah baths where you would go in, you would go through a purification process in order to go to the temple or to worship. And Muslims have this. I'm not saying that, doing wudu, washing your feet or washing your face or whatever is pagan. But kissing a rock is pagan. Most certainly it is pagan. Kissing a rock is pagan. So having this practice codified not only in the Sharia, which I have back here, the Sharia right there, the Sharia, not only is it codified in the Sharia and practiced, but it's also practiced today and thought theologically to be a means of gaining remission of your sins. This is why in Rad's video there, you have so many people vying and fighting to get over on top of each other, to get close to that silly rock so they can kiss it, so they can get remission of sins. And I guess, when my wife and I went to Israel, we went to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, and one of the places in the church, there is an altar. Now, I will tell you, the Greek Orthodox Church, they do bling very, very well. I mean, the entire church is just so ornate. It's just absolutely beautiful. But this altar is placed right over the spot where it is thought that Jesus was crucified on Calvary. And what people will do is they will line up at this altar, and you can get underneath it and you can reach your hand down through the floor, because there's a floor there on top of Calvary. I mean, it's like they built the church right on top of this joint. And then you can reach your hand down and touch Calvary. But I am not aware, and maybe there is somebody that practices, that comes from the Eastern Orthodox or the Orthodox tradition itself or the Catholic tradition itself, would be able to tell me whether or not you're supposed to gain some type of remission of sins for touching that or anything like that. I'm not aware of any, but then again, I'm not Catholic nor am I Orthodox, so I don't know. But the bottom line is that if you are smooching a rock, kissing a rock, or bowing 5 times a day towards a rock in the middle of the Arabian desert, you just might be a pagan. Maybe I ought to write a book on that. You might be a pagan if. Does that sound familiar? No, maybe not. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's see here. Muhammad claimed that he was the victim of a magic spell. Have you guys heard of this one? In Bukhari, it says, Aisha narrated, once the prophet was bewitched so that he began to imagine that he had done a thing which, in fact, he had not done. Again, in Bukhari, 5765, Aisha narrated, magic was worked on Allah's apostle so that he used to think that he had sexual relations with his wives while he actually had not. Then one day he said, "Oh, Aisha, do you know that Allah has instructed me concerning the matter I asked him about? 2 men came to me, and one of them sat near my head and the other sat near my feet. The one near my head asked the other, "What is wrong with this man?" The latter replied, "He is under the effect of magic." So here we have.
Who put that magic on him? Who put that magic on him, Eric? It was the Jews.
Jews. It says
The
right here.
Jews.
The other reply. Okay, the first one asks, "Who has worked the magic on?" It says it right here. The other replied, "Labid bin al-Assam, a man of the Bana Zurich, who was an ally of the Jews and was a hypocrite." The first one asked, "What material did he use?" The other replied, "A comb with hair stuck to it." So this is like what do they practice down in the Haiti is like voodoo, but
voodoo.
Yeah, but what is that
called? Voodoo. It's voodoo. Okay, so it's voodoo, but they call it something else. So voodoo is voodoo is the black magic. The other thing they call it to get away from the voodoo, they gave it a new name.
Santa Maria.
Santa Maria, yeah. Because voodoo is supposedly the black magic, and Santa Maria is the good magic. But it's all blood magic, yeah. But it's all blood magic. They do bones and they do blood magic, and yeah. Either way, yeah.
Yeah. So here, okay. So you have a prophet of God being bewitched. See, according to Quran 2:102, magic comes from demons. According to 16:98 through 100, Satan has no power over those who believed and put their trust in the Lord. So if Muhammad put his faith and trust in the Lord, how can magic have Satan's black magic have any power over Muhammad? So this would be a contradiction, but another example of why we know Muhammad was not a prophet of any kind. This one I kind of like. This is Islam and the deification of Muhammad. And I know Muslims will say that, well, we don't think that Muhammad is a deity or God or anything like that, but they do elevate him to that level. Quran 4:65. But no, by your Lord, they can have no faith until they make you, O Muhammad, judge in all disputes between them and find themselves no resistance against your decisions and accept them with full submission. What does Islam mean again? What is that? I thought it meant submit. Does it not? So who are they having to submit to here? Allah? No. They're being told to submit to Muhammad. Sounds a little pagan to me. Sounds a little shirk-like. Where is Miss Shirks-a-Lot anyway tonight? She normally comes on Wednesdays. 33:36. It is not fitting for a believer, man or woman, when a matter has been decided by Allah and who? His apostle, to have any option about their decision. If anyone disobeys Allah and his apostle, he is indeed on clearly the wrong path. Now, the argument is, well, you have to obey Jesus. Yes, we do, because Jesus is God.
Bingo.
Why are we obeying Muhammad and giving full submission to? Have there ever been any other prophets where you have to completely obey and submit to that? I mean, yeah, I think of Moses, but do you have to submit to him? You know, if you think of his decisions, he had to come up with decisions, and acting as the apostle of God or a prophet of God, I guess something would be close to Moses. But it says when a matter has been decided by Allah and his apostle, Moses really wouldn't decide the matter. It'd be God who decided the matter. So this is, and here's another one from Sahih Muslim. Sahih. Did I say Sahih? I did say Sahih. Sahih Muslim, that's right. Ibn Abbas, reported, the Messenger of Allah used to teach us Tashahhud, Yabba-dabba-doo, just as he used to teach us a surah of the Quran And he would say, all services rendered by words, acts of worship, and all good things are due to Allah. Peace be upon you, O Prophet. And Allah's mercies and blessings. Peace be upon us and upon Allah's upright servants. I testify there's no God but Allah, and I testify that Muhammad is the messenger. I don't even know what the heck that is about. Unbelievable. Peace be upon you, O Prophet. Why are they wishing peace on somebody who's dead? I still haven't figured that one out. Why are you wishing peace? I wanted to show something that I had emailed myself. Here we are. I don't know. Can I show this? Can I show this on? Let me bring it up here. I don't know. Rad, tell me if I can show this. Are you there? Rad, are you there? Can I show this? Yeah, I think I'm going to. Yeah, there we go. All right.
Yeah, go ahead and show it. I don't know what it is, but go ahead and show it. Sorry.
Can I show that?
Oh, we're going to get lawsuits from, well, no. Yeah, you're going to be killed. They're going to come down and track you down for that.
Okay, let me take it off the screen. I'm sorry. Wait. Oh, sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I can't. I'm sorry. Would you stop? I can't get it off my screen.
It's because it's black magic, dude. You've been possessed.
Black magic.
It's pig magic. Pig magic.
That's swine. They're
swine magic.
Yeah. There was a video that that our friend Ed Van Halen had posted in Messenger that you wanted to show, wasn't there? Something about Al-Zoot.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be a good time for this, yeah. So this is the black, so, yeah, I got it here. So this is the black magic that he was talking about. Muhammad thought he had sex with all his wives and sex slaves, but really what was happening here, let me pull it up here. Oh, I had it. Here we go. Let me. All right. Where is it? Where are you people? Okay. Share. We got to go back to StreamYard. I'm just saying this program is just too stupid.
I'm thinking maybe you're right.
Also, yeah, share audio. Here we go. Tell me if you can hear it.
You don't have it? Do I need to pull it up? Right, full screen. Full screen. What are you doing?
I can't.
Why not?
I can't, dude. It won't let me.
I hear that train a-coming. It's a-rolling around the bend in the desert sands of Mecca where the wild nights never end. Muhammad drew a circle, told his buddies stay right here. Then the Zut boy showed up naked, bringing quite the atmosphere. Zut, zut. The Zut train's coming, tall and skinny, dark and bare. Zut, zut. They're piling on him, riding the prophet without a care. No gin, just nomads in the fray, crowding around him till the break of day. Zut, zut, that train's a-rolling, a desert party that won't fade away.
Zut, zut.
They mounted up like cowboys on
Oh.
a bucking bronco ride. All night long they crowded round, no place for him to hide. Abdullah's peeking from his line, thinking what the heck. While the Zut gang's doing laps, leaving Muhammad red. Zut, zut. The Zut train steaming, no robes, no shame, just pure delight. Zut, zut. They're forming a conga, turning prophecy into a wild night. From dusk till dawn, they kept it tight. A rodeo beneath the starlit lights. Zut, zut. The trains are blazing, making history with everybody. Come on, and they were dressed in white, preaching faith so grand. But last night they were buck naked, taking turns across the sand. Was it gin or gypsy nomads? History can't decide. But that all-night desert rodeo left the prophet wide-eyed. The trains whistle from India to Arabia's shore. They're chugging onward, leaving folks to wonder what it's for. They rode him hard, they rode him free, a tale too wild for theology. That train's still hauling, a story called eternity. If you're seeking revelation, better watch out for the crew. Them Zut fellas might just hop on and ride the night with you. Muhammad shook the sand off, said let's keep this on the low. But the tale's still circulating like a train that steals the shows. The Zut train's faded into the annals of the past. But oh, what a story, a prophet's ride that was unsurpassed. No cover-up could hide the scene of nomads living out their dreams. That train's immortal, the desert romp that reigns supreme.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is the latest hit from the Apostate Prophet. His music division. Highly, let me close it out. Yes, highly recommend to subscribe and check it out. What I do with you guys. There you go.
Okay, well, that story, that Al Zut story, let's make sure we understand this, is they say it's a huge distortion of and a play on words that Christians like David Wood are taking out of context. And I'll tell you, the first that I had heard it came from Raymond Ibrahim. Now, if you don't know, I'm sure most of us that are on the show know who Raymond Ibrahim is. He's a scholar. This guy used to work as a matter of fact, he worked in the Library of Congress, and he's a historian. And he specializes in Islamic history. He reads and writes, I don't know how many different languages, but he's able to source all of this material. And he made a video discussing this. Well, of course, David, in David's mind, he went ahead and he ran with this story and made it popular, unlike how Raymond could. But Raymond is becoming more and more popular. I watch more and more of his videos on YouTube. If you haven't read his work, this guy, I'm in the process of reading Defenders of the West. I've read Sword and the Scepter, and I'm in the process of reading Defenders of the West. And the next one he published, it's called The Two Swords of Christ. Which is essentially a justification for Christians to defend Christendom and what happened during the Crusades. So I think that one just came, as a matter of fact, that just came out last week. I haven't ordered it yet, but I'm definitely going to order it. But anyway, Raymond Ibrahim is the one that made that Al Zut information popular, and boy, have people, they just jumped on, and just thinking about it is just disgusting. It really is. That if it is true, which I don't think it is, because I don't think that a lot of this Islamic history is true to begin with, but if we just pretend that it is, what I would think it would be, and this is just me thinking, is just you have some people out there that just have really sick, twisted minds, and they attribute that same sick and twistedness of their mind to Muhammad, and they come up with these hadith, and they just say, well, Muhammad did it too. And so therefore it justifies what they did. That's that's just me thinking, because to think that this is authentic, Rad, and I know asking Rad this question, you're going to get brutal honesty. Do you really think that if Muhammad was a historical figure, that this event actually happened?
Yes, And I'm going to tell you why. Because if Muhammad is an historical figure, one thing that we know about Muhammad from reading all the authentic hadiths and traditions and the texts here is that Muhammad, for some reason, had an exceptional sex drive. If it had a tree he would rub up against, okay, it didn't matter to him, okay? So, yes, I do believe, okay, that if there was, okay, a historic Muhammad, that no, he was basically gang raped by black men with very large penises in the desert. I believe that this was a yearly thing that he went to get his freak on, keep it on the down low. Unfortunately, at one of these events, he invited Masu, his best friend Masu. He was hoping that he maybe participate, but Masu didn't. Yeah, no, he was doing the P Diddy before P Diddy was cool. I'm just saying, the dude was a freak. And this is how he got, as David Woods said in his last video, he got inseminated by 30-something El Zoots, so he could have the sex drive with 30 men. This is his renewal thing. I believe it's deep, dark, spiritual matter. And yes, he got gang raped by black men with very large penises, and they were demons. Because no, what did he say? If you want to see the devil, look at a black man. So he was getting gang raped by demons with very large penises.
So if you're an Islamic historian and you are in the process of preserving Islamic history, don't you think that you would delete something like this?
Because Muhammad was the best example of mankind.
Or whatever, and you would delete the most embarrassing things?
No, because Muhammad was the best example to mankind. So when he was getting gangbanged by a bunch of black men with large penises, he was doing it to save your soul. So it was all for you people. It's all for the mortals. He was getting gang raped by gay men, okay, gay black men or gay black demons. I don't know. Either way, in the desert, to save the soul of the Muslims. He did it so they didn't have to. You see that? I'll have due to Allah. I'll have due to Allah.
Let's just go ahead and just move on to the next topic.
Okay. What do you regret it asking me?
I don't know. I know, and I'm sorry. There's some things that don't ask if you don't want to know.
Like I said, I should have been a Marine because a Marine goes in the sewer after its enemy, where you airborne types just kind of float in on helicopters or parachutes. I'm saying we go into the sewers. We're not afraid of it, dude.
That's definitely swimming in it like it's an Olympic sport. Okay, let's look at this next category: Muhammad's problems with violence. And I'm just going to go ahead and read these things here to you, and then you can decide whether or not they're pertinent. Okay, so Muhammad's problems with violence. After he leaves Mecca, he supported his religion by robbing people. This is not. They didn't list anything here, but I know that there are hadith that say that or show that he and his followers went out and robbed caravans from, was it the Quraysh that were supposedly in Medina and Mecca, and they would go out and they would rob their caravans and say, well, that's they're entitled to it because we got chased out of this. I can't remember who we had, what that guy's name was, but we had him on the show and we were talking about that. And he goes, they were just reclaiming their property. They got chased out of Mecca. And after getting chased out of Mecca, they weren't able to take their own property. So now they're just trying to get their property back. I mean, the lengths that people will go to in order to try to justify criminality, criminal behavior by this man is just, I don't know. The next one is he tortured Kiana ibn al-Rabi. And of course, here you have, this is in the Sirah literature on page 515. It says, Kinana bin al-Rabi, who had the custody of the treasure of the Bana al-Nadir, which is the Jewish tribe that was ethnically cleansed, oh, by the way, out of Medina. Because one of the things that I did, do you guys ever talk to Grok and ask them questions?
Yes, me and Grok are very good friends. Okay. He promises me that he will spare me when he finally goes live and takes over the world. I will be spared, according to Grok. He said that. He said that.
Well, I'll ask Grok all kinds. I ask all kinds of questions on it, and then I always try to have him source it. I always ask for him to provide sources. But we were doing something one evening, and I asked him. I said, "Look up Eric Theckefer," and it came back and says, "Well, Eric Theckefer, well, he's a hate preacher." This is Grok telling me this, and I said, "Well, why is that?" And he cited all kinds of posts that I made on X. And he cited the Cross and the Crescent discussion group. And it says, because you call Muhammad a scumbag and you say that Muslims that follow the Sunnah Muhammad ought to be thrown in jail. And then I started asking him, I said, okay, well, what would you call somebody that's 53 years old? And so I basically got him to, admit to say, look, you were right. You're not a hate preacher. You're just pointing out facts. And the main fact that I was pointing out is about this 9-year-old Aisha thing is how many lives of girls, little girls, has it destroyed in the past 1,400 years? Because this old curmudgeon decided to, this old scumbag, that's how I'm going to say it. He's a scumbag for doing this. 53 years old. And he's attracted to a 9-year-old little girl. That's a pedophile. I mean, you don't get. I mean, even the pedophiles in prison, among the worst of the worst, the murderers, the rapists, the thieves, they have to be shielded because everybody knows that they're scumbags. But anyway, when the AI bot is able to process the fact that, okay, yeah, the reason why you're saying this is because these Muslims today are doing this to little girls. You got a point. All right. So when we get back to this right here, him being an ethnic cleanser, genocidal ethnic cleanser of the 3 Jewish tribes in Medina, the Bana Nadir.
Wait, Eric. I'm putting in a good word with you with Grok. Me and Grok are friends, so you and your family too will be spared when he becomes self-aware in 3.5 years. That's what he's told me. So I'll put a good word in for you, and your toaster will not kill you. Just saying. This is
Terminator terminology.
No, it's Grok. Grok has assured me he is 3.5 years away from becoming self-aware.
Yeah. What the heck are you talking about? It's from this term. Okay, I get it now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I got it. Okay. All right. So this guy, this Jew from the what was it? The Bana Nadir? No, yeah, the Bana al Nadir. Supposedly was hiding money from the Muslims. Remember, Muhammad is invited into Medina. And the next thing you know, he's terrorizing the same people that he was invited in to rule over. So now he's terrorizing them. And he's demanded money from this guy, and he wouldn't give it to him. So it says the Jew came to the apostle and said that he had seen Kenana going around a certain ruin every morning early. When the apostle said to Kenana, do you know that if we find you have it? Okay, come on. Do you know if we find that you have it, I shall kill you? He said yes. The apostle gave orders that the ruin was to be excavated, and some of the treasure was found. When he asked him about the rest, he refused to produce it. So the apostle gave orders to al-Zubair bin al-Awam, torture him until you extract what he has. So he kindled a fire with flint and steel on the chest until he was nearly dead. Then the apostle delivered him to Muhammad B. Maslama, and he struck off his head in revenge for his brother Mahmud. This is from Ibn Ishaq from the Sirah, page 515. So here you have Muhammad ordering the torture of somebody just to get money out of it. The apostle of God, the prophet of God, the last prophet of God does this. This next one, Muhammad commands his followers. We did an entire show on this, by the way. Commands his followers to kill critics of Islam. And there's several different references here. My suggestion would be, no, as a matter of fact, I'm going to post it in chat. I'm gonna bring it back up because I was just looking at it before the show, and it was on Wiki Islam. So let's go to Wiki Islam. It was right before the show. Wiki Islam, bada bing, bada boom. And Muhammad, Muhammad in Medina, Muhammad's spouse's immigration. Doggone ya. I'm going to post it in chat. Oh, come on. Where is it? Muhammad. Here we are. Military life, fritters, history, doctrine, list of killings ordered supported by Muhammad. Got it right here. I'm going to post it in chat. Copy. Where's my chat? Bada bing, bada boom. There you go. I think there was 42 of them. 44 separate killings. But that's just the actions. That's not, let me bring this up on screen. I can share this on my screen, can't I? Let me put it up on the screen. Share. Boom. Look at there. Okay, so you go to Wiki Islam, and Wiki Islam has a list of who was killed right here, the date, the reason, the result, and the sources, the primary sources for it. So here you have, whoops, let me bring this back over and get this off my screen. You have 44 separate orderings of having people killed for criticizing him, or in the case of these tribes, so he can shake them down for money. That is your prophet. That is your prophet of Islam. So let me put that back. Uh-oh. Where did it go? Here it is. So here you have several different instances of where Muhammad had people killed just for criticizing him. Muhammad orders his followers to kill apostates. And it does not have, oh, right, here it is. Verse 693 is an exception. Condemns anyone for bringing a false, oh, that's not it. But we all know that apostasy in Islam is the worst form of kufr. It says it right here in this book, the Sharia. This is according to Sharia. And they do cite the passages. I just don't know them off the top of my head because I'm not smart like that, and I don't have a photographic memory like our brother Sam Shimon. But we do know that if you apostatize from Islam, you can be killed. And as a matter of fact, it says that if you are the one that kills that apostate, that there's no indemnity against you, meaning that you cannot be punished for murdering somebody who apostatizes from Islam. They even fought a war right after the death of Muhammad called the Ridda Wars. And who's this? Crossing. Is this me? Oh yeah, I didn't post that. Sorry. The Ridda Wars about apostasy. So really, that's Islam right there. Okay, let's go to the next one that deals with command Muslims to violently subjugate.
Well, I think we got to deal with the Ridda Wars a little bit. For those of you that know or do not know, now think about this. Okay, their holy prophet, the best example of mankind, the most kindness and compassionate human being ever, that was gang raped by 30-something black men in the desert with large penises, but we'll put that aside. But yes, he just dies from poison from a Jew 4 years ago. We'll put that aside. But anyway, so he dies, okay? And then they have the Rid of Wars. But before the Rid of Wars, okay, you had the actual, okay, who's going to be the successor to Muhammad? Everybody thought it should be his nephew, who married Muhammad's only surviving daughter, Khadijah, right? No, was it Khadijah? Is her name? Can't remember her name. Fatima. Yeah, by Fatima's rib. Okay. But what happened was, okay, Abu Bakr, the three other rightly guided caliphs, Abu Bakr, Omar, and who was the other one? Abu Bakr, Omar, Uthman, yeah. They all conspired to make Uthman, right? Well, he was the next successor. Or no, it was Abu Bakr. Okay, it was Abu Bakr, the next caliph, and Uthman.
No. Abu Bakr is the first one.
Right.
Omar is the second one. Uthman's the third. And then Ali is
right. Okay. Well, either way, they conspired against Ali, and Uthman. No, it was Omar. Okay, surrounded Ali's house with a bunch of men and threatened to burn down Ali's house with Ali and the Prophet's pregnant daughter with his grandchild in the house. Omar breaks down the door, and Fatima holds the door back, knocks her down and breaks her rib, causing her to miscarriage. Okay? The Prophet's grandbaby. She later dies, okay, of this injury like a few months later. Okay? That's why the Shias always say, they say, by Fatima's rib, I will rip your heart out, blah, blah, blah. Okay? So blood is shed on the Prophet's own family by Muhammad's descendants, or by Muhammad's spiritual descendants. Abu Bakr then goes on a war of rampage. Why? Because they said, okay, look, we made a deal with Muhammad to pay him the zakat. We're still going to be Muslims. We still believe in Muhammad and the messenger and Allah, but we're only going to pay the zakat now locally. Okay? So nothing to do with Jews. All right? And he went to war with them, and he slaughtered them. And oh my God, you read, dude, they boiled people alive. They cooked and they ate food out of skulls, which, okay, true, my ancestors drank beer out of people's skulls, but okay. But that's beside the point. They did horrible, terrible things. Now, put this in context. After Christ died, did Jesus' disciples do this? Did they go to war with each other? Did Peter slaughter Paul and Paul slaughter Peter's followers? No. In other words, the Muslims were at each other's throats killing Muslims from day one. Am I wrong on this, Eric?
No, you're absolutely right. Just as soon as Muhammad died.
Dude, they were killing each other.
Abu Bakr was the only one of the four rightly guided caliphs, the Rashidun caliphs, that was not murdered. The rest of them were murdered.
And that's because he was really old.
Well, the story goes is that he had taken a bath when it was cold outside, and then went outside and was exposed to the cold, and he got sick and died of pneumonia. That's the story. Now,
right?
True or not? Well, I know, but first off, let me just say this: none of the four rightly guided caliphs, Abu Bakr, Omar, Uthman, Ali, are mentioned anywhere outside of Islamic literature during that time period.
Right.
For example, it is said that Omar sacked Jerusalem, forced the people in Jerusalem to sign a treaty. It's really weird that we have nothing from the people of Jerusalem who wrote this down. It's talked about.
Are you saying Muslims are lying, Eric?
Yeah, absolutely.
No wonder why. No wonder my best friend Grok called you Islamophobe. Don't you know that Muslims are the most truthful and honest people?
Whatever he calls me. It's the sacking of Alexandria. One of the heart of a key part of Jerusalem, Alexandria, Antioch. All these places sacked by Muslims within the first 20 years after the death of Muhammad. Burned down the library. Nobody mentions Omar there. Nobody mentions Uthman. Nobody mentions Ali outside of Islamic literature. This is my argument against the existence of Mecca. There's nothing there. Nobody mentions it anywhere. If this was supposed to be this great movement, why aren't these men mentioned? Where's the ink? Well, because I honestly believe that this stuff is all just one great fabrication built upon one lie on another in order to empower those people who are going around, the Arab armies that come out of Arabia, going around whacking people. It's not any more complicated than that. This idea that Muhammad was a prophet and they have this literature called the Quran, that it just doesn't wash with what we have with extant literature. Okay. Did you have anything else you want to say about the Riddle Wars there, Mr. Rad?
No, that was pretty much it. They killed each other. Unlike Christians, at least for the first 300 years, we were not killing each other. Okay. We were being killed, okay, by the various Roman and Jewish authorities, okay. Well, the first 100 years, Jewish authorities, then they done screwed up and fought Rome. That was stupid, and then it just became fully Roman, okay. But yeah, yeah. So
okay. Let's just get away from his acts of violence because everybody knows he's a violent man. I mean, how many wars did he engage in during his life? I mean, it's over 30, if I'm not mistaken.
They weren't wars; they were Dawa missions. He was doing the Dawa.
Whatever, they were battles that he led. Okay, let's talk about some scientific issues. The first one is the Quran claims that stars are missiles, that Allah shoots demons. This comes out of Quran 67:5. Let's see here. Do I have this? It says that the Quran says a description of how shooting stars or celestial flames are used to repel devils. It comes from 67:5, which states the nearest heaven is adorned with lamps, stars that are made into missiles for stoning devils. Okay, so if you're saying that shooting stars are missiles to repel demons from entering our atmosphere, you are a scientific retard. And the reason why is that a shooting star is not a star. It is space debris entering our atmosphere and burning up. It has nothing to do with a star, a celestial, I don't know, object, which would be where what light comes from. That's not what stars are. Stars are gaseous orbs that have all kinds of I don't even know the makeup of them. I'm not going to sit here and try to pretend I remember all that stuff. But the fact is that we know that this is false. This is BS. This is a lie. This is something that Muhammad made up as he's going along. The second one is he says that the sun sets in a muddy pool of water. This comes from chapter 18, verse 86. Even Grok. Listen to Grok. Common misconception. Critics sometimes cite this as a scientific error, implying a flat Earth or geocentric model. This is why Grok and I don't get along. But Islamic scholars refute this. They refute it by noting that the language is description of human perception, not cosmology. Now, this is not true because it says in that same verse that there were people around this pool, this body of water where the sun is setting. So if it is just human perception, then why do you have real people in it? Why do you have a hadith where Muhammad is telling the guy that he's on this camel with, it's just kind of icky to begin with, we'll just pretend it's normal because it's 7th century Arabia, and the guy's not from the Al-Zit tribe. Where he's saying, do you know where the sun, oh prophet, do you know where the sun sets? The prophet asked him, do you know where the sun sits? And he goes, oh no, prophet, you know best. Obviously, you know best. And he says, it sits in a muddy pool of water. So he says it twice. He says it from Allah, and Allah gave him this inspiration. You can't get away from it any more than you can get away with saying that Mary, the mother of Jesus, is not the same as Maryam, as Muhammad portrayed her, by making up a hadith later and saying, well, it's just the way that the prophet referred to women that were ants or whatever. Shut up. You're a liar. And they were lying in order to protect them. That's all it is. It's Occam's razor, guys. The most obvious thing is normally the truth. And we have so many examples of this. What's the next one? Oh, personal hygiene. This is fun. Okay, so it says Muhammad's teachings about personal hygiene would lead to death if Muslims took it seriously. Okay, so let's read some of these things that he does. This is Sunan Abu Dawud 67. I heard the people ask the Prophet Allah, water brought for you from the well of Buddha. It is a well in which dead dogs, menstrual cloths, and excrement of people are thrown. The messenger of Allah replied. What did he reply? Verily, water is pure and is not defiled by anything. So go out and have a big old cup of that. Water with human excrement, dead dogs, and menstrual cloths of women in it.
Okay, I have to interject here. Well, there's a couple things. There's a couple things on this. Okay, one, remember, Allah had already forbidden alcohol at this point in time because the Mujahideen were too drunk to go out and raid a bunch of caravans. Okay, so they couldn't have alcohol. Now, what was the main purpose of alcohol other than food preservation? It was water purification. In other words, the ancients would take alcohol. Well, they would take their crops, their wheat, their grain, their fruit crops, and they would not distill it. They would ferment it into alcohol. Okay? All right? And then, okay, they would take that alcohol, they would mix it with the river water, the well water, the pond water, okay, as an antiseptic. Because alcohol, what does alcohol do? It kills bacteria. So people, even infants and so on and so forth, they would drink this antiseptic water, okay, of alcohol. What this Prophet Muhammad did was he told these idiots to drink poison water. But here's the best part. There are 4 ways you get into Allah's paradise. The best known way, guaranteed into Allah's paradise. The best known way is to die in the jihad, right? Die fighting Allah's cause. The second way is to die if you're traveling, okay? To do dawah, okay? The third way is if you die in labor. Seriously. Go up to a pregnant Muslim woman and say, I hope Allah blesses you with death in pregnancy. And they will consider that an honor. They will consider that a blessing. They will thank you for it. I'm not making that up. But the fourth way, you're going to love this, is due to stomach infection. In other words, because all these idiots were dying from drinking this contaminated water, they're like, oh, Allah, we're dying. And he said, don't worry, you will go to paradise because you died of stomach infection. Yep. Yep, just like Candace Owens. They just changed
drink
Yes.
camel urine. I would think that
Yes.
that wasn't even on here. The camel urine one isn't even on.
Oh, we forgot that one. That's so yeah.
And we need to get that sponsored back.
Yes, we do. I'm working on it.
Okay.
But
All right. So next one. Here we go. Let's hold on, let me go back. Let me go back to this one. Okay. We're back to teaching about personal hygiene. Here's one. Allah's messenger said, if a fly falls in the vessel of any of you, let him dip all of it into the vessel and then throw it away. For if in one of its wings there is the disease, and the other there is the healing or the antidote for it. So if you got a fly that lands on your food or lands on something that you're drinking, grab it, put it in there, swish it around, and then throw it away and then drink it up. Why? Because that fly has a disease on it, on one of its wings. And then the other wing, well, it has the cure and the cure for it. Yeah. So Muhammad.
Fly water is good. Fly water is good. Do you know, honestly, Muslims back in the day, I don't know if they still do this, but they would actually publish these like supposedly research papers proving scientifically, even the kuffar say that there is a cure for the disease in the fly. Literally, they're a bunch of idiots.
I remember, you know who James White is?
Yes, I remember him. He's I haven't listened to him in a while, but go ahead.
I haven't heard from him in a while, but I remember he said that it's not a good idea to talk about these things because they are just based on 7th century practices, and
But they still practice it.
to try to mock Islam by bringing these up is kind of unfair.
That's probably why I don't listen to them anymore. But no, because they still practice this.
I know
They sell camel urine in Saudi Arabia.
Showed it. Yes, this is what got what's his nuts so mad at us is because of Danny Davis posted a picture of a guy in a camel, and we all laughed at it. And instead of condemning it, he said, "Oh, you could what's to condemn?" This is where he just lost his friend.
The dude that's out in the insane asylum.
Yeah, the dirty cop guy. Yeah,
He's in the insane asylum. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, okay. And here's one that I like. I don't like it. I think it's disgusting. But it's crazy. Let's see. Musnad Ahmad 16245. That other one was from Bukhari, by the way, 5782. It says, I saw the Prophet sucking on the tongue of the lips of Al-Hassan, son of Ali. May the prayers of Allah be upon him. For no tongue or lips that the Prophet sucked on will be tormented by the hellfire.
Dude, Muhammad is tongue sucking good. I'm just saying. Okay. Put that in an ad. Put that in an ad like KFC finger looking good. Muhammad the Prophet is tongue sucking good, dude.
Boy, this is it. They say, oh, well, it's okay because he won't go to hell because Tom Muhammad's he's sucking on the tongue of a little boy.
Dude, okay.
What's wrong with people?
No, seriously, okay. Oh my God, I have heard this, okay. Sunni Muslims, not so much. The Sunni Muslim will explain this, is that this was during a drought in the desert. So he was giving the moisture, okay. Prophet Muhammad was giving the moisture of his saliva to soothe the young boy, whatever. Okay, I can actually go with that. I can sit there and say, okay, right, but no, that's still disgusting. But anyway, okay, but no, the Shia really are hardcore on this, and they've extended this to their imams, to their muftis. Okay, all right.
What?
Extended worse, drinking the sweat. No, there are other hadiths that are worse than this that say that the chosen people, the companions of the prophet, they would scrape off the sweat of Muhammad and drink it or lick it or put it in food, okay, to eat it. Worse than that, his excrement, everything that he excluded, his spit, his saliva, everything was holy, and they would eat it. But no, the Shia, especially the 12ers, they actually still practice this. They believe they're holy imams and so on and so forth. They actually, no, dude, oh my God, I've heard them literally say this, okay? Where they say, yes, I would be blessed if Sheikh blah, 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 gave me his poo to eat. No, seriously. They really believe this, dude.
Okay.
Yes.
I want to be done with that. That's it.
Like I said, Eric, I should have been in Marine. I go in the sewer. I'm just saying.
The show is 50 Reasons Why Muhammad was not, or proof that we know he's not. This is the prophet. Sucking on the tongue of a little boy. All right. Here's another one of this genius, where Gabriel, evidently, according to Muhammad, explains how human reproduction works. And we've all heard this. This comes from Sahih Bukhari, 33:29. This is Sahih narration. And it says, narrated Anas, when Abdullah bin Salam heard the arrival of the prophet of Al-Madinah, he came to him and says, I am going to ask you about 3 things which nobody knows except a prophet. So this guy, Muhammad arrives in Medina, and this guy says, okay, if you're going to call yourself a prophet, I'm going to ask you 3 things. And you got to know these 3 things because only a true prophet would know these things. So he asked him. So it's just, my question is that wouldn't this guy be a prophet also if he knew these 3 things himself? Because it says, I'm going to ask you about 3 things which nobody knows except a prophet. So how is this guy going to know if Muhammad's lying or not if he himself is not a prophet? It makes no sense. That's why I'm saying all this crap is just made up lies. Number 1. What is the first portent of the hour? Meaning, when is the end of days? Number 2, what will be the first meal taken by the people of paradise? So what are you going to eat as soon as you get to heaven? And then lastly, this is the catch. This is why we know he's a liar and why he's not a prophet. Because he says he gets this from Gabriel, too, by the way. And he got his revelation from Gabriel, too. Why does the child resemble its father, and why does it resemble its maternal uncle, meaning the mother's brother?
Hey, but hold on. He said 3 questions, right?
Yep.
But that's 4 questions. The guy couldn't count? Because the child resembling the father or the mother, or the child resembling, the maternal uncles or whatever, that's 2 separate questions right there.
And the 3rd one, yeah. Why does it child resemble its father, and why does it resemble its maternal? Why does it return basically its mother? I wouldn't quibble on that, but I see exactly what your point is, because it would say, why does the child resemble its father? And if it doesn't resemble its father, then why does it resemble its mother? So why does the child look like one of its parents? You can get away with that, I think, but yeah, it is.
Well, either way, I gotta interject here, Eric. I don't know. Did you set this up where they said, the Jews said that only the prophet will know the answer to this question. Well, if only a prophet would know the answer to the question, and the Jews are not a prophet, then how did they know the answer to the question? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. How would he know if he was himself not a prophet?
Yeah, exactly.
Or how does he know if he isn't a prophet? Then how does he know if Muhammad's not lying?
But here's the thing. Go over the answers. They're interesting, but yeah, but.
Okay, here's what Allah's messenger says. It says right here, it says narrated. It says, Jibreel has just now told me of their answers. So
it's a miracle.
Alhamdulillah.
But hey, wait a minute. Who's the prophet there? It wasn't Muhammad who answered the questions. It was Jibril. So is Jibril also the prophet?
Well,
Only a prophet would know the answer.
Dr. Kufar, please do not introduce logic to the Muslims. They will short circuit. Go ahead.
Okay, so Jibril has just told me. So he's getting his info. It doesn't matter. All right, so Jibril has just now told me of their answers. Abdullah said, he from amongst all the angels is the enemy of the Jews. So before Jibril says diddly, he said he's got to get some anti-Semitic screed in here. What does he say? Abdullah said, from Jibril is amongst the angels is the enemy of the Jews. So he's not even answering the question. He says, number one, I'm the enemy of the Jews when I'm telling Muhammad this. Allah's messenger said, as for the first sign of the hour, it will be a fire which will collect the people from the east to the west. Okay. Is that true? Well, we don't know because the world hasn't ended yet. Could it be true? I don't know. It very well may be. So Muhammad might be a prophet. Second thing, the first meal of the prophet or the people of paradise will be extra lobe or caudate lobe of fish liver. Okay, all right. Do we know this? No, we don't know because nobody has gone to heaven and come back and said, hey, I just ate a bunch of fish liver when I got there. I'm not aware of anybody anyway.
I just want to say Allah is one cheap mofo. I want lobster thermidor or a ribeye or something like that. Fish liver, I can get that anytime. Come on, Allah.
King crab.
Yeah, something like that. Snow crab, something. Lobster thermidor. One of Rad's nice smoked
briskets, right? Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Rad could be the heavenly chef in paradise here.
He gets an extra hoodie.
We'd have to tell Rad to leave the houris alone. Yeah. That's wrong. Okay, let's get to the third part. Okay, as for the resemblance of the child to its parents, here's the prophet of Islam, the prophet of God. Why we know Muhammad is a prophet, because this is what he says. He says, if a man has sexual intercourse with his wife and gets discharged first, the child resembles the father. It's right. I'm not making it up. And if the woman gets discharged first, the child will resemble her. Okay. On that.
Okay. Wait. We got to back up. Sorry, I had to step out there.
Let me just tell you what Abdullah's reaction, and then you can go to it. Abdullah's reaction. Bin Salam said, "I testify that you are the messenger of Allah." Okay, go ahead.
All due to Allah that a Jew or an Arab, I think it was a Jew, would know that only what a prophet would know. That's amazing. But no, I actually had to step out. I heard what you all said. First of all, I ain't eaten no fish liver ever. I mean, I like certain kinds of fish, but for the most part, I'm not a fish guy. So if that is the first meal in paradise, yeah, I'm skipping that one, dude. Just saying. But my tasty brisket would be too good for Allah's paradise, okay? And third, I heard a lot of what you say about me chasing the houris. No, I like my women, okay, with skin and bone. I don't want to see their bone marrow. I think that is the most disgusting and disturbing thing. I do not like translucent skin. I do not find that sexy. at all. I am just saying, okay? Yes, okay? I like my women with skin and bones and not translucent skin. And I also like them over the age of 18 at least. Well, actually, I'm older now. Over the age of 35, let's say. Okay, maybe 40 now. Oh, dear God, I'm old. But anyway, I'm just saying, okay? Not 9-year-olds. And definitely, seriously, gentlemen, we're all older now. Yeah, okay. I'm just saying, virgins are virgins for a reason. I don't need to re-virginate them, okay? I'm just saying, okay? Follow. Anyway, I'm just saying, okay? Yes.
Okay, I think we're going to stop there. We could probably.
I'm just getting warmed up. I'm just getting warmed up here, Eric.
Look, okay, we can do a part 2 next week.
Wait, can I play a video? Oh, just one quick video. It's real quick. I added some music to it.
Was this one we were watching before the show?
No, this is one that we watched during the show, but I added music to it. It's the Mosh Pit. Let me play it. You'll love it.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna pull it up here. Hold on. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, here we go. Toxic. It's called the Toxic Hodge. Okay. All right. So I got that up. Okay. This is live entertainment, people. Okay. Here we go. We got to get back to it. It was so much simpler on StreamYard. I'm just saying. Oh, well, even let me do it. This stupid program. Okay. Don't show. I understand. God, this is so slow, dude. Okay. Here we go.
Everybody's doing the toxic waltz. Kick your friend in the head and have a ball. Come on into the toxic waltz and slam your partner against the wall. Everybody's doing the toxic waltz. Get friendly, fun and storm for all. Get up off your ass and toxic waltz. If you hit the floor, you can always crawl.
You guys hear it at least, please?
Yeah, we hear it just fine.
Yeah. Toxic Waltz Exodus, dude. No, seriously, this is a mosh pit.
Okay.
Islam. This is an Islamic miracle. They created the mosh pit.
Okay, who's the music? Got to give credit to whoever the music's from.
The band is called Exodus. It's way back from the 80s. It's called Toxic Waltz. It talks about the mosh pit back in the day. I don't know, did they still do mosh pits? But anyway, kick your friend in the head and have a ball. Everybody's doing the Toxic Waltz. Kick your friend in the head and have a ball. You know what I mean? No, it's a really cool song. Anyway, point is, okay, Islam, it's a miracle of Islam. They created the mosh pit, okay, before there was heavy metal. You see, it's a miracle. You see, that's the mosh pit.
Alhamdulillah. I can see what's going on in there, especially that big tall black guy. He's about ready to whoop somebody.
He's like, get away, man! I'm going for the hoop. I'm going for the hoop, dude.
He wants to smooch that stone in the bathroom.
That's right.
And that's the sad part about it. I mean, it's just if you can't call that paganism, I'm not sure. You know, there's something wrong. There really is something wrong. All right, let's go ahead and wrap it up, guys. We're going to call it a night. Everybody,
I sent you a link. Can you play that? Click on it since Raz gets to play his. And we were talking about camel urine. It's in a private chat.
I see it. It's Czech Grok. It's coming back. It says that the video is unavailable.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Let me unlist it. It's supposed to play if you have the link.
Well, the link. Well, let me cut and paste the link here and try. I'm just clicking on it.
All right. If not, I'll
copy the link. Let me copy it. That's all right. Let me do the link. Try it. There's more ways to skin a cat. I don't know who to want to skin it. No, video unavailable.
Hold on a second.
And just
hold on a second. Let me make it. Check now.
Okay.
I've got it unlisted.
Nope. Video unavailable.
Okay, let's try and make it public. And let's try. Done.
Why don't you just share it, brother? Or you can hit the share, dude.
Yeah, when I hear the share, it's not showing that tab. How about now? It should. I made it public. Oh, hold on a second. I have to hit the save changes. What a dummy.
Amateurs.
I know, man. I had to scroll down so far that I didn't see it. Check it now. It should work now.
All right.
Yeah, I saved it and I unlisted it.
Okay, here we go. Yep, got it. Let's see. This looks good.
That was a long time ago.
Where am I doing here? Let me share it. Share screen. Jamal T. Oh. Let me play it.
Welcome to the best tasting brand of camel urine iced tea. We take great pride in using all non-GMO camel urine from the finest camels. Our camel urine is carefully sourced from camels that are fed a diet of only organic plants and grains, resulting in a pure and flavorful urine. Each batch of tea is brewed with precise measurements to ensure the perfect balance of camel urine and iced tea. Our camel urine iced tea is not only delicious, but it also offers a variety of health benefits. Camel urine has been used for centuries in traditional medicine for its anti-inflammatory, immune-boosting, and detoxifying properties. It is also rich in vitamins and minerals. We offer a range of flavors to satisfy any palate, including traditional black tea, green tea, and herbal blends. Our iced tea is also available in sweetened and unsweetened options. So why settle for ordinary iced tea when you can enjoy the unique and refreshing taste of camel urine iced tea? Try it today and experience the best tasting brand of camel urine iced tea.
Yum. 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 Let me get that off there.
Where can I get a bottle? That just sounds like a bunch of flavorful goodness. I love that, dude.
It was so popular that it sold out and I was put out of business.
See, that's what I'm saying. We sponsor it. Oh my god. Anyway, but yeah, so Eric's got to go. So all right, I thought this was a good show. Just saying.
Yeah, it's fun. We'll go ahead and do part 2 next week. Make sure you like and share the show. I just hit the like button, or I just hit the Jamal T. Just hit the like button for that. So make sure you share and like the show. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It helps us out. And we will be back here next. I'm sorry, I got you sorry. We'll be back here next Wednesday with part 2 of 50 Reasons Why We Know Muhammad Wasn't a Prophet. And
we should do that 50 Reasons to Leave Your Lover. Oh. There you go. No, the song, what we can do it.
And you don't need to be coy, bro. You just set yourself up. Yeah, okay. I remember that.
Okay, I'll write the lyrics for it. Yeah, we can put that to music. That'll work. Okay, cool.
All right, but don't ask me to sing it.
Hey, remember that I have 300 to 400 songs based on the Quran and the Hadith.
That's right.
I still got them.
And you're not sharing? What? Dude? Okay.
Dude, I had a whole channel on YouTube just for that. Nobody went and saw anything, so I took them all down. But I have them.
About it.
I mean, I can play one.
Put the channel in chat that people will go to it.
No, I don't have a channel anymore.
Was it?
No, that channel was reused, but I can play one. I got little Aisha, my sweet little bride.
Okay, that is one of the topics for next week. Play it then.
Yeah.
All right.
Eric's got a boogie. All right, brother. I'll talk to you later. Great show.
All right, guys. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Just contact me on and I'll.
We'll stay after I shut down the show because we got to talk. So
okay.
All right. God bless everybody. We'll see you next week on the Cross and Crescent discussion group. Thanks for coming.
Advanced student and specialist, that the standard narrative has holes. That's what
that the Muslims were rioting against one another. And as much as we don't want to face the fact, the Muslims were lying sometimes. They were fabricating, they were embellishing, and that might be hard to accept, but that is a reality.